Good morning, everybody. In today's video, we're going to reassemble this motor because it needs to be put in a 77 K5 Blazer. Alright, so what I did here was I took my air blowing tool right here and I stuck it down in all the little holes in here, and it blew out a whole bunch of rust and dirt and grime and all kinds of stuff. So I think somebody had used water at one time in this block. Now I need to go through and clean out all these passages still. I'm going to do that with a pick. Still trying to decide if I'm going to use the old cam or not. The lobes and everything on it look real good. 1974 steel is a whole lot better than it was now. So what I'm going to do is I put a moving pad down. I'm going to go ahead and flip the motor over and take the oil pan off the bottom. Now I'm not sure if cylinders normally have this little bit amount of rust in here, but I am going to go ahead and try to keep blowing it out as much as I can with my blower here, and try to get it absolutely as clean as possible before I even turn the motor over by hand, because I don't want them cylinder walls getting horizontal scratches up and down, up and down the cylinder walls. Yeah, up and down the cylinder walls. We don't want to do that. So I'm working on trying to get everything as clean as I can first. I'm going to flip it over, check the oil pan, make sure all the rods and mains and oil filter or oil pump and everything look good down there, and I'll show you what that's all about. Just flip the motor over, look at all that dirt that fell out of the block. So having an engine stand here is a very good thing, because that helped us get all that dirt out that we wouldn't have got out before. So now we're going to go ahead and pull the pan off and keep cleaning. Okay, so this is how you identify a 4-bolt main cap motor. These here are the main bearing caps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the main bearing caps. These here are the rod bearings. They're the connecting rods. What they do is you unbolt these 2 bolts right here, and there's a bearing in the bottom. Just a little, it looks like thin little half moon shaped piece of sheet metal, basically. But it's very meticulously taken care of. This here does look like it is quite a bit blacker than I was hoping for. So I think I'm going to run down and get some kerosene from the store. That's the best way I like to clean motors. So what I'll do is put some plastic under here, and I'll go ahead and clean all this material off here. Luckily it's already been replaced at one time, because it looks like it'll just come off pretty easy. The oil pan looked to be in decent shape, so we'll definitely be able to use that. But look at that, that was definitely over tightened right there. I wonder if we should be putting almost a washer at this end. I mean, let me think about that one. Something like that little washer right there, down in that hole, right? So as we tighten it up, you can't tighten it past that washer. Might be an idea, because these were over tightened, probably leaked, and this one's all beat up real bad, so we definitely don't want to use that time and chain cover over. Okay, all right, here we go. So now I got my helper.
Hi everybody.
Coda 1996
on the
YouTube. So despite the Mitsubishi Eclipse in the back, we are working on this small block Chevy still. Right. Now I went and used the 3-prong puller to pull the old gear off, that one. And then it says to mark it, the O, because this had 3 different keyways on it. It said the O is the most factory one. So what I did was just put it on there as far as it would go with a hammer, and then I just took my body hammer and that hammer and just tapped it, and she slid all the way into place, and you'll hear a tone in the hammer different. Then we went ahead and cleaned the old cam up with
we used some buffing pads that you can use for body work, but they work really good too for scuffing up metal and getting surface rust off. We also, before that, so the rust wouldn't be as bad, covered it in some Marvin's Mystery Oil, which I used just an old rag to wipe it down first, and then gave it, I'll even show you right here with this. So this has got a lot of carbon and stuff on it, but it's covered in that mystery oil. I take a little bit here, and just like that, clean as a whistle. So that's the part I just scrubbed, and this is everything else. You just scrub it a little.
So I'm going to keep using a little bit of that Marvin's Mystery Oil on all this, but we got this pretty well clean. Now I'm not sure I can dump this over and turn it over with all the bits in it, and that's probably what I'm going to do. Tomorrow I got to go and get some cleaner. So, but tonight, what we'll end up doing, I won't be able to put the timing chain cover on then. I'm going to get, what I like to use is kerosene, and I want to make sure that everything is cleaned out of here as good as I can get it. So I'll dump some kerosene in there, blow it around with the air gun, with a rag over the top so the fluid don't go everywhere. I'm trying to keep it a little bit clean around here. But I'm going to do that 2-3 times, try to get as much as I can out of there. And then I'll seal the oil pan on. And then I'm going to probably put a half mixture of kerosene and oil on there. And when I prime it. So I'm going to prime it because this is a dirty old motor. Not really old, but I did that kerosene will help get
1974 4-bolt K5 350 motor right there, sir. That's a good year right there.
Yeah, that's good. So then what I'll do too is I think that red Scotch-Brite might be soft enough to try to very lightly go around the cylinder walls. I don't know. I thought about picking up some dingleberries. Yeah, I said dingleberries.
Dingleberries? Would you care to elaborate as to what dingleberries are?
They're a tool that you soak in kerosene, and you have a kerosene spray ball, and you put it in the cylinder hole, and you spin it as you go in, spin it as it goes out.
Oh wait, is that the thing that's got like the sandpaper all around it?
No, what this is it's got dingleberries all over it, about 100 of them, and it's round.
Okay.
But if you just shove it straight in there without the drill turning, you'll put straight marks in your cylinder wall.
It'll just scuff it, but if you do it slowly and progressively while it's going, it'll
in and out,
bore it.
In and out like that. And then you'll get some nice hatch marks. But the thing is there's no lip at the top of here. So I don't know if I want to mess anything up by doing that. I might just once or twice throw some Scotch-Brite in there just to get this the tiny bit of surface rust. But the thing is how much surface rust is like always in a motor, because gas cleans it. So as soon as the gas cleans the cylinder wall down and then you shut it off, you let it sit for 6 months, it's going to have rust back in it again.
Yeah. So surface rust, right? A little bit. This is our gas and our piston firing. Look at that. That's about 6,000 rotations right there. Gone.
Yeah. Just like that.
Just like that.
Okay, so the goal for tomorrow is that's the gas tank for the 77 K5 that this is going in. That welder needs to be put somewhere else. Actually, the welder's smaller. That might be able to go between that bench. Then I got to find somewhere for my table saw. Then I got to find, that's going back outside to Dakota's shed out back. Mm-hmm. That's going to just get wheeled around, and I don't know that I can clean it off or not. That's one blazer top. That's one blazer top. That's that chair will fold up. That can go behind the clips over there, and my grinder can go over there too. My grinder. So these are going to go outside. The orange tailgate's going to go outside. And the 73 Blazer has to come in here as a previous promise. But those speakers are going to go into my Blazer. I'm actually going to put them in there to get the room. There's 107 octane gas that I put in my Blazer last summer. So that's some good smelling stuff right there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and I gotta do this in order, you know, because you don't want to put the oil pan on before it's clean. But you know, I think what I'm gonna do is get the timing set up, and then if I end up turning the motor over, that's okay. But then I'll probably put the timing cover on, and just not put anything, and then just shove rags in the end, so at least the cover's on. Something like that. Okay, gotta go. So what we got here is I put the crank bolt in. Don't always trust on turning that little guy, but because we don't have anything else on, we should be good to go. But there's a little dot right there.
Little circle.
That little dot has to match that little dot.
That big one right there.
Has to be straight. I think you were right. We gotta go a smidge.
A little smidge more. So that this tooth matches that tooth?
Yeah, I think this is turned this way just a smidge. Yep. So what I do is I usually line them up like this, straight first. And it's kind of hard to see because we can't get straight on it. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll turn it just a smidge. Yeah, what do you think?
Just a smidge, just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, and then what we do is we finagle it on from here. Because you got to put that one on. You can't try to get that on with the timing chain on. Mm-hmm. But make sure that's all lined up. And then we'll what you do is you put the top on first. And then you try to get it lined up as much as you can. Because it's like exact. There's not much room to play with wobble.
That. Just that little bit right there is all we got to play with.
So both them dots. Hard to see, it will not focus on that little dot. Yep, there you go. We're straight up and down. That's the timing mark. Straight up and down. And then this in on the peg.
On the peg.
Then we put the 3 bolts in, torque them to click spec. Okay, we ended up turning it back over to let some of the other stuff drain out of it. Now what I'm going to do tomorrow is get some kerosene, put it down the lifter valley, get all that clean, let it drain onto the ground. I'll probably put a piece of plastic down too. But now that the timing's set, you can turn this over as much as you want. The only time it's going to really matter is, you know, when you put it together finally. Now, there was a spot, you can see it, yep, you can see it. See how it's clean up here, and then it's shinier down there? That's where this was sitting. So I can feel how nice and clean that. I mean, that's smooth as glass down there. You get up here, it's a little bit not. So I ended up using the red Scotch-Brite that we've been using to try to clean up some of the surface rust, but I go like that in a circle. You can't go up and down. See, even just that little bit will. Now see, there's scratch. You can't really see. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Let's show you. Yeah, there we go. See, there's still dirt down in there. And guys, that's what you have to get out of here. That motor cannot run with that dirt in there, because it will make them lines like this. And then once you got those lines, there goes your compression. So tomorrow, it's kind of late to be messing around with it now. But yeah, it did come clean. It's looking really good. She's coming a long way. But now that we got the cam in and the timing chain, I was going to put the cover on, but I got to paint it still. So, and then I didn't want anything else to get stuck in there. So when I paint it, I'll throw that old one on right there. It's always good to keep some old sheet metal like that around, valve covers and all that. Then you can just throw them on there, and there's some wall art from an old Jeep. But she's coming clean. Look how clean that looks. It looks almost brand new. But I'm going to go ahead and cover it up. You always cover up your work at night because, you know, dust and dirt. And, I mean, we try to do the best we can the best we can. And you want to get all those flakes out. Make sure there's no flakes in there. I might go down there with my scope. It needs some really good antifreeze in it. What the heck? It is rusty down there. Flaky. I'm going to go through with the blower again. That little red nozzle thing right there. I'm going to go through with my blower and blow it out. Flip it over. Wash it with kerosene. Flip it over again. Blow it out 4 or 5 times. The cleaner we can get this motor, the better odds we got of everything looking good. But I haven't seen anything so far that would say, we got any kind of broken ring issue or anything. Everything should be good. But that's this side, and this here is this side. This has a lot more light on it. But you can see on that side too. See where the cylinder was resting. So the best thing to do is people fog motors. And I need to work on that technique, because what you do is you spray something down the carburetor, and then until you spray it and spray it till it stalls. And then what it does is it coats the cylinder walls. So when your cylinders are resting all summer, and then you go to fire them up in the spring, you still got that lip. Well, you do that, 5, 6, 7 years, and you got them lips all the way down there. But if you put that fog stuff on, it won't let that flash up with the rust. So it will help your motor. That concept, yeah, I'm going to do that for sure. Yeah. There's my numbers, so I can come back later. Come back later if I need to. Oh well, doesn't really matter. Okay, gotta go to bed.